Hey, happy Tuesday. It's your afternoon girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels. I hope you're having a great day. And man, I tell you what, I thank you so much for logging on, for tuning in, talking about something really exciting today, something that's right up my alley. As you can see, I have Dr. Brendan Riggin with me. Hey, Dr. Brendan, I'm getting ready to put your whole name together. How are you? I'm so excited. How are you doing this morning, rather?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you very much for having me today.
Yes, this is a wonderful. So, Dr. Brendan Riggin is, well, actually, you know what? I'll let you just kind of tell me a little bit about you before we jump into this very exciting topic today.
Sure, yeah. So thanks for having me. My name is Dr. Brendan Riggin. I am the head coach of the Hockey Fans in Training or Hockey Fit program and a research scientist based out of Western University in London, Ontario.
Wow. So, man, if you heard hockey and you are a true hockey fan, you're like, okay, your eyes probably were like, okay, what are we getting ready to talk about today? So you kind of alluded to it a little bit, hockey fit or hockey fans in training. So you know what? Tell us a little bit about this whole hockey fans in training, hockey fit.
Well, Hockey Fans in Training is a men's health program that is designed for men who are looking to become more active and to get in better shape and are fans of junior hockey. So in Saginaw, that's a fan of the Spirit, or in Flint as well. Any fans of the Firebirds are welcome to join our program. And it's a 12-week men's health program where guys will have a chance to go behind the scenes with their favorite team while also getting to improve their health. And the best thing about it all is it's entirely free to take part. The fans will have a chance to win $100 gift cards and maybe even a pair of season tickets too. So there's lots of incentives to join, and it's meant for those guys that are looking to maybe get in better shape.
Yeah. And as I went to the website, which you can see right here, hockeyfansintraining.org, you can go there and trying to get those men to lose that belly fat, get into better shape. And we know that like you alluded to when we were speaking a little earlier, it's always been important, but especially during this time, it seems that, to take care of your health, especially trying to lose that belly fat, all of that is so important when we're trying to battle the pandemic and COVID and all the different things that we're dealing with today. So this is a great time for folks to, if they have been putting it off, you need to jump on board with this, especially with it being free.
Yeah, exactly. So you touched on a few good points there. So obviously the program has been running for a few years now, and we've been trying to improve men's health, both in Canada and in the United States. And the reason for that is because men in general are more likely to be at risk for things like chronic disease, so type 2 diabetes, a number of cancers, and things like that, cardiovascular disease as well. And one of the reasons for that is because they're often more overweight or obese compared to females, and especially guys between the ages of 35 and 65. So our program is really tailored to those men, and we're trying to reduce the risk for them to develop any sort of disease and hopefully to improve their health. But we also want to be able to provide something that's kind of fun for them to take part in, because often men are a little more reluctant than women to take part in healthy lifestyle programs. They feel like being a little bit bigger is maybe more masculine. And what we heard before is that they feel like some of the more traditional weight loss programs aren't really designed for them. And so we've tried to take all of that into account with the Hockey Fit program, meaning it's gender sensitized. It's designed just for guys and guys that are fans of hockey. So it really creates this fun atmosphere where men will come to the weekly sessions and they'll be talking about the hockey game last night. And it's quite fun to be a part of, not just from the participants, but from the coaches' perspectives as well.
So they'll come in because I'm trying to get a little sneak peek of what's going to be going on during these 12 weeks, even though I know this is, for the men. Because here's another thing too. I think this will kind of translate over into like the family, because you got the men involved, and the women are probably going to be like, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on?
Yeah.
Especially when they start seeing the results, because you figure 12 weeks, as we spoke about earlier too. The men, it's a little harder to get them involved physically and on the whole weight loss thing. But then they start losing it a whole lot faster than the women. So of course, the women are going to be like, what's going on with that? So I can kind of see this kind of, filtering out into the entire family. So
Exactly. And we've already started to see that as well. This program grew out of a pretty successful pilot project that we did with the London Knights and the Sarnia Sting back in 2014. And that was funded by the Movember Foundation. And what we found is that because we were trying to get the men in the household to eat a little bit healthier, they were often doing the grocery shopping, or they were now starting to prepare meals at home, and they were learning some tips from our program. So it was actually having that positive spillover effect into their spouses and their children. And of course, because the guys were trying to become more active, they were going for walks and bike rides, and it sort of helped get the whole family to be more active as well. So it was really encouraging for us as health researchers to see that positive spillover, and that we're having a benefit to other members of the community as well, not just the men.
For sure, for sure. All right, so we talk about fans and, how this whole competition is going to work out. Of course, here locally, we've got our Flint Firebirds, we've got our Saginaw Spirit. Whoop, whoop. So how is the competition? Is it going to be based on team with these $100 gift cards? How is that whole process going to work?
Well, as far as the gift cards, all participants in the program will have the chance to win one of $100 gift cards each time that they attend what we call an assessment. And so that's really just when we have our research team come, and we'll take the men's height, their weight, their blood pressure, and we do a very brief fitness test as well. And so anytime someone attends one of those sessions, then their name will be entered into a draw to win a $100 gift card to the team. So there are 10 $100 gift cards to be won in Saginaw, and another 10 in Flint as well. And there are 2 follow-up assessment time points, so they'll have a chance to win those at each of those time points as well. As far as the competition, as I mentioned before, this grew out of a successful pilot project, and I was the coach for the Sarnia Sting group. And the first thing that I would get asked every week from the men is, well, how much weight did London lose, and how many more steps are they taking? So we realized that guys are pretty competitive, and they want to be able to compete not just with their team on the ice, but fans want to be able to compete against other fans off the ice. So We're taking advantage of that and really trying to have the fans compete against one another to see who can improve their health the most. So we do have a Hockey Fans in Training app that fans will download, and they'll be able to see who can take the most number of steps on a weekly basis and be competing against the Spirit or the Firebirds, depending on where you are.
That is so cool. So you said this has been going on for a few years. Do you guys do kind of like how many pounds have been lost during this, or so many years, or?
Yeah. So the current project that we're running right now is in 40 communities across North America. We don't have the results, obviously, because the program hasn't started in each of those communities, but the results from the pilot project were really inspiring, because the men had lost about 10 pounds, and that was just meeting once a week for 90 minutes over the course of 12 weeks. We don't restrict guys on what they can and cannot eat. That's often one of the questions that we get is, well, am I no longer going to be able to have my favorite food or my favorite drink? And the answer is no. We let people eat whatever they would like, but we just try to take into account moderation and really small and manageable changes that we think are going to be sustainable over the long term. And again, that's what the pilot study found, was when we followed up with these guys 1 year later, they had not only kept the weight off, but they had improved some of their other health outcomes. For example, blood pressure continued to decline even after the program had ended, which to us suggested that this is sustainable and really having a positive impact on the fans and their community.
Okay. So you think that's because these men continued with their exercise, or is it just the effects of them having done this for 12 weeks?
I think it's a little bit of both. Most of the people would continue on with their exercises. They developed some good friendships in the group, and so they might continue to meet up after the program has ended in order to maintain their physical activity. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the other reasons that it was quite successful was because we didn't limit what people can and cannot do. In the past, we found that other programs might be successful in initially helping to either lose weight or improve their health, but it's not really sustainable once the program has ended. So that's something that we've taken into account in our program. We really do try to emphasize very small and manageable changes that over the course of 12 weeks will have a significant impact. And then if you're able to maintain those long term, you'll be able to realize some of those benefits as well. So I would attribute it not just to the men continuing to meet up and continue with their exercises, but I think it's also part of what the program's trying to achieve, which is just making those small changes that we can implement on a daily basis that are going to really have some long-term benefits.
Yeah. Because just to know, because you're right, when you start talking about people's diet, that's when you really, you kind of hit it's, you really have to be strategic, and it's a little harder. So even just knowing, and I'm sure with these men realizing, even just taking steps, I'm saying, just walking or whatever this consists of, that you, if you start there, I'm saying, you're going to have, see a significant difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's sort of how the program's designed. For the first few weeks, we really emphasize just trying to improve our physical activity and monitoring the number of steps that we're taking per day. And then as the program progresses, we start to introduce other exercises and other workouts that are all tailored specifically to the men. So some of the guys that have signed up in the past might have shoulder injuries or knee injuries. All of our exercises are designed to accommodate that, and we make sure that it's safe for the guys to be taking part in the program. And our coaches are all trained and certified as well to be able to provide those modifications that are going to be necessary to let the participants be successful and keep them safe.
This is so cool. All right, so I know folks are going, okay, 12 weeks, this is free. It's almost sounding too good to be true. It's not, but how can fans take part in this? Well, first of all, let me start here. Let me back up a little bit. When does the challenge, does the challenge start on a specific date? Well, it has to, because it's 12 weeks. So when does it start?
Yeah, so we're in the process of finalizing the start date right now. What we're doing is actively recruiting anyone in those communities, so in Saginaw and Flint, who are interested in taking part. We have a couple more weeks to sign up and register for the program, and then our research team will be coming to Flint and to Saginaw, and we'll be the ones that do those baseline assessments. So what I was mentioning earlier about taking their height and their weight and their blood pressure.
Okay.
And then once those have occurred, then the registration officially closes and the program will start shortly after that. There is a randomization component to it because it is a randomized controlled trial. So there's the possibility that it won't begin right away, but all of that information is explained on our website. And as soon as people reach out to us, we send them more documentation with all the timelines.
So that website, once again, is hockeyfansintraining.org.
That's right. Yeah, we got lots of information on there, some frequently asked questions, and that's where fans can go if they would like to register.
All right, this is so cool. Yes, I've been on the site. The site is very in-depth. It does have a lot of information, very inspiring, and it does get you kind of in that competitive. You see all these guys there, so it's kind of like, oh man, I know I can do this. So kudos to you for what you're doing and helping to get people fit and healthy. So can I ask you real quick, how did this whole idea come about? What kind of sparked this?
Yeah, well, the principal investigator and the creator of the Hockey Fit program, his name's Dr. Petrella, and he's a family physician. And what he noticed is that he often doesn't see his patients who are men in his clinic until it's either too late. Maybe they've had a health scare themselves, or someone that they know of has had a health scare. And so he really developed this premise, or this concept, where we want to try and get guys to be a bit more active and to play a role in their health and re-engage them in the health community, as well as the services that are available to them. So we thought, how do we try to get guys to take part in these sort of programs? And so we've decided to partner with Canadian Hockey League teams across North America, and it's been quite successful in recruiting people and to help improve their health ultimately.
Yeah. So smart. This is just like so smart. I'm like, this is a great way to get men involved. And you talk about, you see a lot about losing the belly fat, but that gut is so important. That gut is like the second brain. And so when you start to see some of the things that are happening, some of the improvements, I can see that men would continue, because once you start feeling better, which is number one, I think, you start looking better, you're like, you know what? All right, this kind of works. So I think we're going to continue on. And I can also see this also being very inspirational for other men friends, other friends that they have that are starting to see their results as well. So this is kind of like a ball that will start to roll and just kind of affect everyone. So kudos to you all for this program, for sure.
Yeah, that's certainly what we're trying to achieve, a bit of a snowball effect, right? Where if we can help to improve the health of a few guys to start, hopefully that will have that spillover effect to their friends, their colleagues, and family members as well.
Yep, for sure. All right, hockeyfansintraining.org. Man, jump on there, go to the website, get all the details, and you can sign up for the program there. And they are, once again, you said that you guys are finalizing the start date, which it will be definitely in 2021, you think?
Likely, yeah. So
Okay.
our assessments were tentatively targeting for end of October, I think.
Okay.
And then, as I mentioned before, there is that randomization piece where it'll either begin right away or after a bit of a delay.
Okay.
But all that information is available to people who are interested in taking part, and I encourage them to check out our website for more information.
And I'm telling you, I can see this adding 5 or 10 years to people's lives. So, and not only to add years to your life, but the quality of life. This is just so important, and this is just wonderful. So, thank you so much, Dr. Riggin. Was there any other thing before we wrap this up? Anything that we missed? Anything else you want to tell folks?
Maybe I'll just mention one thing about the session. So I know I've already talked about how it's once a week for 12 weeks. Those 90-minute sessions, about half of it is dedicated to an education component, and then the other half is dedicated to an exercise component. So what I was talking about before about making those modifications and ensuring that it's safe for guys to take part. Everything is off ice, though. One of the questions that we've gotten in the past is, am I actually going to be on the ice for any part? And the answer is no. You don't have to be a hockey player in order to take part in the program. Okay. Just a fan of the Spirit or the Firebirds.
Man, that's enough right there. And one other question with you saying that I would like to ask as well. So these sessions, will the sessions be in a designated place, or will fans be able to do it offsite, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, so 9 of the sessions in Saginaw will be hosted at Saginaw Valley State University. We have some students there that will be assisting with the coaching, and then 3 of the sessions will happen in the team's facility. So that's what makes the program a little more unique and enjoyable, I think, for the fans, is that they're really getting a chance to go behind the scenes with their favorite team, get to see the dressing room, get to see the workout facilities. We try to have some fun team personnel drop in as well, whether that be coaches, players, or some staff. And then in Flint, we're working with the Firebirds right now and trying to secure another facility there. But the plan will be to host at least some of the sessions in their arena too.
And I could see it being really exciting for fans to be able to go behind the scenes and even to see some of the workouts that maybe because a lot of times people will see athletes and they're like, these athletes are in such great shape. So if you get a chance to take a sneak peek as to how they are taking care of themselves, how they work out, that too can be very inspiring. You're like, oh, if I had their workout, if I had their trainer, I could be buff too. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
A cool part.
Yeah. So we try to give fans a bit of a glimpse into what it's like to be a Spirit or a Firebird for a day, and hopefully get a chance to meet some of the team personnel as well, because they often have their own issues trying to eat healthy when traveling on the road for road games and things like that. And so it's not just the fans that are trying to be conscious about what we're eating and how much we're exercising, but obviously the players need to consider that too.
For sure. All right. So one final question that I have is the age range. Is there an age limit? Do you have to be a certain age in order to be a part of the program?
Yep. So the program is meant for men between the ages of 35 and 65. But I do have some exciting news about the women's version of Hockey Fit. It's in the works. We are currently working on finalizing the curriculum and working with our as well, so that there can be a Hockey Fit version that's offered for our female fans out there too. We know there's lots of women who are fans of hockey.
Yes, and that want to get in shape and that want to lose weight in any way you can make it easy and fun. If you can do that, the better. So thank you so much for thinking of the women. We appreciate that, Dr. Riggin.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. So Dr. Brendan Riggin, once again, of the Western University in Ontario, Canada. Wow. Hockeyfansintraining.org. Go there, get the information. And this is going to be so exciting. I look forward to speaking to you again just about the progress of what's going on. And also when you guys get that women's piece hooked up in there as well. So
yeah, I look forward to it as well. Thanks.
Yes, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. If you are watching, thank you so much for watching. And I tell you what, this is going to be on our Facebook pages, also our YouTube channel. So you can share this. You can go back and watch it again, get all the details, get all the great information that Dr. Riggin was speaking of. But go to hockeyfansintraining.org. Be a part of this 12-week program. This is going to be so exciting. And we're trying to, if we can get everybody in the world active and losing weight, and it just would be such a better place. So that's what you guys are striving to do. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.